Have you ever marveled at the sheer complexity of human civilization, pondered over the towering cities, intricate technologies, and rich cultural tapestry that defines our existence? It's easy to get lost in the wonders of the modern world and assume that this is just how things have always been. However, the reality is far more intriguing. Before cities, before farming, and before even the idea of civilization, there were our earliest ancestors, fragile, curious, and resourceful, surviving in a world far more hostile than anything we know today. But how did they do it? How did prehistoric humans manage to not just survive, but sustain life long enough for us to be here today? Join us on an incredible journey back in time to explore the gripping narrative of our survival. Picture this: 4.7 million years ago, a time when the Earth was a vastly different place. Vast grasslands stretched under blazing suns. Forests whispered with predators, and the air was thick with the smell of rain, dust, and danger. Our ancestors weren't kings of this world. They were prey as often as they were hunters, and every single day was a question with only two possible answers: live or die. This wasn't the pampered existence we're accustomed to today. No, this was a world demanding constant vigilance. Every decision mattered. Every sunrise brought new challenges, and every sunset was a victory, if it came at all. It's a testament to their spirit, their resilience, and their unyielding determination to survive that we are here today. Our story begins in East Africa, the cradle of humanity. The landscape was a mosaic of habitats, savannas, woodlands, and river valleys, each offering both opportunity and threat. The cycle of life played out relentlessly. Lush vegetation promised sustenance, but also harbored lurking predators. Water was life, but it meant crocodiles, too. Trees offered fruit, yet they also concealed leopards above. The open plains offered game to hunt, but no cover from lions or packs of hyenas. Every choice, where to drink, where to sleep, where to search for food, could be a life or death calculation. These early humans didn't have access to modern conveniences. They were constantly on the move, driven by the need to find sustenance. Roots, tubers, wild fruits, nuts, these were their staples. Meat, however, was a prized possession, often obtained not through hunting, but through scavenging. Imagine the scene: following the tantalizing scent of a predator's kill, waiting patiently until it moves away, then rushing in with sharp stones to grab the remaining scraps before the vultures and hyenas arrive. This practice provided a valuable source of protein, shaping their diet and significantly contributing to brain growth. But life was not solely about sustenance. It was also about defense. In a world brimming with predators, they learned to utilize their environment to their advantage. If you've ever watched a documentary about early man, you might have noticed them sleeping in trees. This wasn't just a quirky habit, it was a matter of life and death. Staying aloft kept them safe from ground-based predators, turning the treetops into a sanctuary of sorts. Using thorny bushes as natural barriers and staying close to waterholes when necessary was part of a larger strategy. Each action was a calculated move in a silent game of cat and mouse. They didn't have the luxury of running water, electricity, or even basic tools. Yet somehow they managed. Picture this! You're thirsty, parched by the unrelenting sun, and the nearest waterhole is a few miles away. No vehicle to transport you, no bottled water to quench your thirst. You're reliant on nature's whims and your own 2 feet. This was their daily reality. Every step was a conscious decision, every breath a measured risk. But amidst this harsh environment, there was beauty. And I'm not talking about the Instagram-worthy savannas or the picturesque sunsets. I'm referring to the small, understated wonders that made life bearable. Perhaps it was the first ripe berry plucked from a bush, the cool shade of a large rock during midday, or simply the camaraderie of fellow survivors gathered around a campfire. These moments weren't just sources of comfort, they were threads in the tapestry of their survival. Imagine standing under the vast expanse of the night sky, not just as a tourist, but as a true participant in the grand scheme of existence. For our ancestors, the stars weren't just distant lights. They were silent markers of time and direction. They served as an alarm clock, ensuring they rose with the sun to start their day. And they guided travelers returning home, transforming the wilderness into a familiar map. It's a profound connection that transcends the boundaries of time. These early humans were not solitary wanderers. They lived in small groups, not just for companionship, but for mutual support and protection. In numbers, they could watch for danger from more angles, share food and resources, and protect the weak. It sounds simple, but in a world where danger lurked around every corner, numbers meant safety. This communal living also fostered the sharing of knowledge, skills, and warnings. It was a form of collective intelligence that ensured the group's survival. As individuals contributed to the collective good, their actions were no longer solely about personal survival, but about the survival of the group. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, so they survived. What does that mean for us today? Why should we care about how our ancestors survived? The answer lies in the very essence of our existence. We are here today because they laid the foundation for our species' survival. Every technological advancement, every cultural achievement, every moment of comfort we enjoy is rooted in the struggles and triumphs of our ancestors. They didn't just survive, they thrived against all odds. Their story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The story of our survival goes beyond simply enduring. It's a tale of resilience, adaptation, and innovation. Our ancestors didn't wait for favorable conditions to present themselves. They didn't have that luxury. Instead, they adapted to the conditions they were dealt, scavenging, cooperating, and utilizing their environment to their advantage. They turned what could have been a death sentence into a lesson in survival. Think back to those precarious moments when they fashioned sharp flakes of stone into knives to cut through tough hides and flesh. They didn't have fancy tools or equipment. They had determination and ingenuity. They chipped away at rocks, slowly transforming them into instruments of survival. These weren't just tools. They were lifelines. With them, they could obtain food, defend themselves, and shape their environment to their needs. Every sunrise for our ancestors was a gamble. Every sunset was a surprise. And yet they managed not just to survive, but to thrive. They laid the foundation for civilizations to come. They passed down their knowledge, their skills, and their stories. And in doing so, they ensured the continuation of our species. As you sit there comfortable and safe, perhaps with a cup of coffee or tea in your hand, pause for a moment and consider the journey that brought us to this point. The innovations, the struggles, the triumphs, and the sheer grit of our ancestors have brought us to this moment. Their story isn't just a chapter in a history book. It's the foundation on which we stand. It's the reason we can dream big, innovate fearlessly, and push the boundaries of what's possible. If they can survive and thrive in the face of unimaginable challenges, so can we. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember that the same stars guided them as they ventured forth each morning. The next time you sip a cup of warm drink, think about how they huddled around fires to ward off the night chill. And the next time you carve something into existence, remember that their hands once chipped away at stones to create the sharpest knife they could. Their story isn't just history. It's a reminder, a challenge, and an inspiration. We are here today because they dared to be resilient, to adapt, to innovate, and to hope for a better tomorrow. So let their story echo in your heart and let it guide you as you navigate the challenges of your own life. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If this exploration of our survival through the ages has ignited your curiosity, I invite you to embark on more adventures with us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Let us know what other historical periods or events you'd like to see brought to life in this way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious about the incredible journey of humanity.